Mouth's kind of bad, not gonna lie.
Shut up, Cox. Honestly, it's like fake talk on my
No,
face.
dude. No, JuCoHi said that I have the most objective viewpoint, and I agree with that. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't care. I'll play Genji if I want to.
Awesome. Well, we're live
Easy
with
mode, watch us play the game.
Invictus here on the B Drop. This is
Let's go.
episode 11 of this, and we're gonna just hop right into it. It's a little late, so we'll try to keep everything on schedule and get you guys in and out of here. So first of all, let's just introduce ourselves. We'll start alphabetically from Ashura, and then we'll just go down from there.
Let's go. Okay, sure.
Whatever.
It's your turn, big guy.
For what?
Just go ahead and say your tag, say your role, and then say one fun fact.
One fun fact.
Introduce yourself.
I hate Doom. And I'm Azura. Easy mode.
Alright.
Wow. All right. I'll pick up the slack there. I'm Booth. I'm the GM for the team. So I started playing in Tranquility Season 2 with Illusion, along with Asura, Lemon Ghoul, and Memorex here on the team. We formed the team after the season ended because a few of us wanted to move up here to the Discord tier. So I've kind of been the one in charge of the rosters and basically everything going on for the team so far this season.
Okay, here's the loud 15-year-old.
Alright. Is it my turn? Alright.
Yes.
So my name's Falcon. I play tank for Invictus, and one fun fact about me is I'm a feeder. A hard feeder.
That's true.
Well, that's all the tank discussion I was going to have now, so I have to figure something else out.
Well, that clears that schedule. Checks off all the boxes.
Alright, Lemon.
Oh, my turn? Okay. So, I'm Lemon Ghoul. I am a support for us, typically main support, but I also flex a little bit. Fun fact, I really, really like playing Sombra.
That's random. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
I mean, if
Melts.
we're sticking with video game shit.
I'm Melts. I'm one of the DPS for Invictus. I started in Trank Season 2 with the boys from Meta Rejects. You know, we parted ways. I left their team, and here we are now on Invictus. Love the community, had to stay. So that's basically, and also, I don't play Genji that much, just like sometimes.
Bad again.
Occasional
Lying.
Genji.
I see.
I saw your blade.
Shut up!
Don't let a secret out, boys.
Alright, Mama.
Right, hello, my name is Memorex, although usually I'm just called Rex over here. I am a flex support, but my main role is off support for the team. I've been here, like Booth said, I've been here since the start with Illusion last season, and I carried on over here. And if you ain't first, you're last.
Hey, I'm Proxime. Most people just know me as Prox. I'm the coach for the Illusion Invictus org. I play support. I'm a support main. I usually play flex support for my team. And a fun fact about me, I started playing Overwatch on Xbox, actually, Season 11.
Me too! Dude,
Yeah,
that's
I started in gold. It was
Good job, it's gold.
The rise through the ranks.
You console
man.
player.
I started in silver, so that's fair.
I
and now
actually
I'm
started in silver.
top 500, so it's Pog.
Don't worry, I still have my roots. I still feed. It's like I'm
Such a
still
feeder.
so.
Oh, I'm such a feeder, but like I'm a feeder
I
and
feed
GM,
constantly.
so it works.
So it doesn't count.
Yeah. Here we just call that winnable.
Exactly.
Feeding is a part of the team name.
That's right.
Winnable.
Nice. Well, good to meet everybody and good to have you guys here. So let's jump right into the changes that came out. Do you think that this is going to have any major meta implications going on for the team? Any possible switches we're going to see coming here soon?
Genji.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, we were kind of a dive team before, especially with a lot of the Illusion players from last season. That was kind of our bread and butter. They always fell back on. We had to learn to change around that starting at the beginning of the season, especially with like so many of after the 222 lock came through. A lot of those anti-dive heroes were just pretty buffed up trying to stop goats, so we ended up having to switch around a lot. I definitely want to try to get back to it if we can. I think we're gonna probably see a lot of tank switching when it comes to the meta implications. I think some of the healers and DPS are still very strong, but I think the tanks are by far the biggest area we can be looking into changing some stuff around.
Nice. So, let's walk us through your tank line. I know a lot of Orisa and Sigma's been playing for the past couple months, but I mean, like I said, the changes just came through yesterday. It's pretty exciting.
Very.
Just in the game I played tonight, I know you
Indeed.
guys. I mean, that was a close game that you guys had tonight. So, good to see
yeah,
you guys
very,
pull out
very
the
close
the,
one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
the close
Thank
4-0.
you.
So,
yeah, thank you.
Really
Thank you.
yeah. But yeah, we were just playing a game, and almost no Sigma Orisa got run on either side. It was a lot of fun. It was a great game. So it's nice to see that. I don't know if that's just everybody being super happy to play off meta picks just because it just happened, or if that's actually a meta like that's gonna come to be, which is just Ryan Zarya dive coming back in the meta to kind of like not be better, but at least be something we can play if you're good. So Tanks, walk us through double shield meta, what's that's been like for you guys, and then what you'd like to see personally coming into the new meta.
Yeah, Falcon, you and I want to get this one because we're the two tank players that are here tonight so far.
Yeah. I definitely think that even with the nerfs, Sigma is still a good character and still is definitely a viable pick. And that dive is a lot better now than what it was compared to it. But just I still think a good Sigma Orisa is going to outdamage and outperform dive.
Yeah, for me, like I really liked a lot of the tank changes that happened, but although pull, I think is like one of the biggest implications of all this. I think Orisa is still going to be incredibly strong until Fortify gets a bit of a nerf. I think that's a major concern. That's why you're running a lot of these DPS heroes, is trying to bait out Fortifies, and until that kind of goes away, I mean, I think we might at least see some Hog coming in with it. But we still in our scrims today, we are still running some Orisa Hog stuff around it, and we're trying other things out with it, or Orisa Sigma, but I don't think it's completely gone yet. But I do think you don't have to play that on every single point now, at least, which for me is definitely a lot of fun. I'm a stuck Diva one trick that had to learn other heroes, so being able to do something else made me smile a little bit. I got to play a little bit of Zarya, which made me
Hey,
very
you're
happy.
good, Winston.
Yeah.
Winston, what? Ooh, no.
You do a little bit of it here and there.
Ooh, hi there.
No.
I'm thinking dive here. I'm a little stuck on dive in this
Okay,
moment.
that's fair. That's fair.
I
We
can
are a
agree.
dive team at heart.
I'm a hard stuck in
Um,
dive for sure.
I miss
Yeah.
dive so
But
much.
Rust and dive.
Where if it's
I
going
think-
good.
Definitely, it's no surprise though that I think our team, or at least me, just wants Ryan Zarya. It is
Yeah.
my bread and butter. I don't know if I can speak for Booth here, but like just Ryan Zarya for me anyway, just allows me to feed to my fullest potential.
Oh, 100%. Our other tank player, Black 96, so he and I are IRL friends, and we basically played comp ladder for the first year and a half until we found the Tranquility community and we're tanks for Illusion. And basically in ladder, it was either him, Winston Diva, because he's a main tank player. I normally stick to off tanks, or Ryan Zarya when the Hanzo Grav Dragon meta was a thing. And I definitely missed some of those days. A little bit easier, just tracking their bubbles and then letting either Falcon or Black just charge in and give him a bubble on Reinhardt. That's a lot of fun. We definitely want to play around Zarya as a team as much as we
Yeah.
can, but it's really hard to go in there as Reinhardt when
Yeah, it's definitely a
there's
pipe
so many
dream,
abilities to
but
stop it. Yeah.
it's gonna be forever until he gets meta. But once he does, oh man, it'll be so much fun.
Nice. That's super good to hear. Big fan of Reinhardt myself. I've heard Falcon. You have a pretty gnarly Reinhardt, so I look forward to seeing that when
yeah.
it happens.
I
Beats.
pugs are just the best, aren't they?
I like the goats pug that comes at the very end of the night, where then we get to actually have some real Reinhardt play going on. Those are kind
There
of
you
my
go.
favorite. That normally kills pugs, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Goats and pieces. So let's talk to the DPS players. Coming into that the meta that we've been in for a while, and I want to say previous, I really do, but it does look like double shield's still going to be really strong coming up here soon. So maybe there's be a little bit more counterplay, but I expect it to be the mainstay comp. But DPS has a little bit of fluidity around its role of you can play Doom, Reaper, but on certain maps, Bastion's super viable, Pharah is super viable, Sim and Mei have their spots. So tell us what you think about your spot right now.
Okay, so between Ashoda and I, not counting Velo because I haven't played with him much, he's been on leave of absence. So counting Ashoda and I, him and I would get these DPS. Like I think we fill the whole roster when it comes to it. I'll play Doom, Farah, he plays Reaper, Sim, and whenever I feed, he's the one carrying, and then whenever he feeds, which is like almost all the time, I carry.
For real, I'm the one.
But honestly, I think I don't think the meta's gonna switch much. So I'm gonna stay pretty much on Doom and him like on Reaper or Sim, depending on the maps and stuff. And I honestly think our DPS line is pretty good. And it sounds kind of biased, but it's not biased. Basically.
Pretty sure that's the definition of biased, but
Just a tad.
I don't know.
But not
That's
biased.
my thought.
If he says he's not biased, then
Not just
obviously.
because
I
they're
think
my
our team's
but,
really
like,
great,
our
and I
team-
totally have
yeah.
an implication of it, but it's in no way biased.
Not just like they're my team, but like my team. Oh my god.
But yeah, with that being said, I think we fill most of the hero roster and play them all really well.
Nice. Super good to hear. I could always appreciate a good, well-rounded DPS roster because it's so hard when you're in tryouts and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, we have 5 Widow players. That's kind of cool. I guess. So yeah, I definitely can appreciate a May one trick here or there, a Somber one trick here or there. So super cool.
course.
And then sure, you got any cool things you want to mention about this meta, or maybe potentially coming up here soon with the Tracer changes, with the Somber changes, stuff like that.
No, look, we're just looking to run more Genji. Am I right, Mo?
Yeah, hey.
If
I'd
there's
rather
one
not
thing we
watch
have
Mark.
enough of, it's Genji players on this
No.
team. So
Oh,
if we
there
can
we
run
go.
2
Yeah,
Genjis,
Five
we're
Widow
like-
players. We mean like 5 Genji players, dude.
if
I
we
think
could
that's
run
what you meant to
multiple
say.
Genjis in a game for dive, I'm sure we would.
Oh my
If
god.
we were doing, like,
we play
season
rock
one comp.
paper scissors and
Yeah.
match chat to figure out who
Yeah.
gets to play him.
Yeah, sometimes if you see that, if you're screaming against us or playing against us, if you see rock paper scissors, it's who's deciding to play Genji for us.
So yeah. So if you see rock paper scissors, just know we're gonna have a Genji.
We're probably running dive.
Hey, why are you giving us stress away, guys?
Honestly,
Oh,
Falcon
no.
for
Don't
work.
give away the
Playing the Genji in the first place was already a big enough of a throw. we're just kind of like we're just kind of speeding up the process now.
Just give me all the resources and I'll get a couple of
One
kills.
day, Genji.
At least
will
one
be
or
I'll
two
get a
kills.
couple. I get a team kill.
Everyone will get a couple of kills with all the resources.
I wouldn't say everyone.
Yeah, dude. You should have seen me in my brig days, dude. Ooh.
Oh boy.
Lord.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, boy.
Shutters, no, please.
Speaking of Brig, let's move on to the supports. I mean, they are kind of as stuck in their role as tanks, but I personally found a lot of success on my in my gold-ish ladder because I'm a hard stuck diamond tank, but every other role I literally don't know how to walk right. So support in like where I play, Brig Ana gets a lot of play, and I've seen a little bit in tier 2 with like Brig Ana, Brig Lucio, and then Bat Mercy, Bat Zen for like more bunkery comps. They
Yeah.
they seem to get a lot of play. I don't know if you guys utilize a lot of that, but if so, talk about it. If not, just tell us your impressions about Lucio and Moira and what you think that's gonna happen now that the Lucio change is implemented, and if that healing combo is still gonna be as potent.
I mean, we just played it in our scrim there, like Lucio Moira, back and forth. I think we'll stick with it, kind of thing. I don't really see it going anywhere unless Moira gets more of a nerf, because the only like interaction I felt playing her that's different with her slight nerf there was Moira versus Tracer. And obviously the buff and nerf difference there is what caused that. I don't know. I don't really see a big change coming in supports though. It's kind of just where it is.
It breaks all of our hearts because
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
personally,
No Annas, bro. Come on.
I just
yeah.
want to play Ana.
Smirk is just
absolutely
internally
not.
crying.
yeah.
Just one
Yeah,
thing.
poor
He
Smirk.
can finally walk. He should be part of the meta if he can walk again.
Oh no, that's a cursed emote.
Oh.
It terrifies
That's
me
fun.
to see it.
Hate to see it.
But no, I think the support stuff. It's not that this like Moira obviously is very good, but I think just the reason the supports are so good is because the tank lines that are being run. So until double shield's not a thing, you're not seeing Arisas on every map. Being able to take down a supercharger with your coalescence, which charges so quick, is very helpful.
And like
And that's just it's gonna be hard. It's really hard to run Ana against that because you can get some pretty good output on healing your own team. But Moira does just as much, and then your ultimate is okay, but you're not gonna get much offensive presence in with all the shields up.
Yeah.
And it
Getting
breaks
value
all
out of
breaks
it
all our
is
hearts. 'Cause
so
yeah, it's very hard to get value
So-
out of Ana with all the shields.
Yeah.
You throw a nade and it just
Especially if
it
they're-
hits a
especially if
wall
they're
every
taking
time.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a move.
And then on to procs, you're in a unique position on any team, which is coaching. And is there anything you want to walk us through about coaching Invictus? Any cool like strats or any preset plays that you thought of that worked out well in a game that you're willing to talk about, and any like nice moments that you've had with the team that have come out from maybe a hard place and then turned it into like a positive?
Yeah, I think so. Although first, I do want to say that I was listening to what everyone was saying about dive, and I was internally cringing. Because everyone here in the chat will be the first to tell you that I'm a major proponent that dive is never coming back, especially not
No.
now.
Like,
And
please.
Blasphemy.
and my team hates me for it, but like I just have to,
No.
like
You love dive.
yeah. And
Like
just
the
like I
play.
don't know, just like I feel like maybe in another universe, maybe in another life, but with the existence, I think even with nerfed BAP in Field, even with kind of like nerfed Moira, kind of these death volley characters that are getting various nerfs and buffs, I really like. I don't know. Brig is in the game. Genji hasn't gotten a nerf or a buff since release. It feels like so. I will be the first and the last person to tell you that dive is not coming back. But as for other strats that we've been running, like meta stuff, I have definitely enjoyed working with this team more than others, maybe because they're very open to trying meta as well as off meta kind of ideas and strategies that maybe wouldn't be seen elsewhere. I think maybe the one that works the best that was shown off was a strat on Watchpoint Gibraltar, where I told them to go May, kind of like a Death Volley May comp in the Mega underneath Bridge on first point, to not like peek, not do anything, kind of hold there with the May wall, and then as soon as the payload comes down, you put the May wall up and it stalls through it. And I think they really enjoy doing that, mostly just because it, didn't involve Orisa, it involved Ryan. But I think, to varying degrees of success, it did work and it did not work in certain games against certain teams. But I think that it kind of really showed me how willing kind of the team was to try these crazy, wonky strategies that, are not quite meta, right? And yeah, I don't know. I guess if I were to talk about my own play, in the highest tier of play, nothing changed with the patch. Nothing. Everything is the same. Like shields are still everywhere. The game still sucks. I want to quit. Not just stuff like that.
Double barrier meta is so
Double
much.
barrier. Yeah.
Take a move.
As a community, we just never seem pleased with anything. Because, like, Season 5 and 6 were like, Jesus, bro, anything but dive, bro, please.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like
I would
once,
like
the,
dive
once the
season
previous
five.
meta leaves, it's like, damn, man.
It's like,
I kinda
damn,
missed
you're just like looking
Wish I
at,
could
like the
back now.
Wolverine meme where he's like holding the picture. That's basically us every couple of months. Just like looking at
Yeah.
the previous meta.
Guys,
It's
remember
like,
when?
look, I'll
double
even play
shield
break,
was
please.
meta? I miss double shield, guys.
I did
Oh,
kind of.
that-
I
I
don't
think
want to
that's
know what
just
the hell the
one
next
meta.
one's gonna be for that. Good lord.
Oh, I don't
Go
miss
play
playing
Genji,
Blade.
dude.
I am fairly certain that's like this meta is going to be the one meta that no one's going to miss.
That no one's going to miss.
You said that
I-
about
Does
Ghost.
Does anyone miss goats?
I
I
kinda
miss
miss
Ghost.
Ghost.
I've heard
I
a lot
just
of
miss
people
Brig.
Ghost.
That's it.
I miss
I
them
kinda
greatly.
liked it.
bro.
As long as I can play
I
Zarya.
mean, I just think
Yeah,
that
true.
I take the
Take me
Zarya.
off
I
break.
fucking love
Ghost is fun for pugs after like 3 matches, and then it just turns into like, oh, I remember why I hate this meta.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
I
just
think
like,
Goats would be terrible with Sig in here now. That would really. I mean, like you probably
Oh
would have
my
replaced
God.
Diva. I'm gonna guess. Like,
Yep.
and that just seems fucking terrifying to see a Sigma shield coming forward and let your Reinhardt go in. You probably getting shatters off like twice a team fight. Or
Let's
something.
add a
Oh,
tank
God.
with a defense matrix and a Brig stun, as well as a
And a
shield.
Good
Blizzard,
lord.
what are you thinking?
And high damage.
I
up.
wonder if they actually were gonna add Sigma if he's been ready like before, but then that started to become a thing, and they're like, we can't do this.
We
This is
can't do
gonna-
this.
We can't
Let's
do
add
this.
Brig. No, I'm kidding.
They're like, we kind of like our player base. There's no way we can put him in.
Beyond just taking Sig and putting him in the spot of Diva. I know my team has talked about it to nauseum of what Goats would be like today, and we're almost positive that there'd be 2 tanks in Goats with just Ryan, Sig, and then Sombra as like the replacement for Zarya, so that playing the game becomes impossible. So
Yeah, nope, can't walk out of
That
the
would
spot.
honestly sound like
yeah,
Alright, I don't miss
That's how-
Goats.
So yeah, once we step back and we're like, wait a minute, that picture, there's that guy in the background, and that guy, that day sucked. That wasn't cool. So yeah, it's the only meta that mattered was McRight Click. Hot take, but I'll take it. So
Original
Dude.
right click.
triple tank
InVictus.
before. Go.
No. This is your interview. You get to say what you want, Falcon.
I just think that season 3 triple tank when it was before
Aw.
Brig and you could have everything else. That was
kinda
like
fun.
Hook
One-
1.0, baby.
Oh, God.
Quadruple tank on
Yes.
Watchpoint Gibraltar. Anybody?
Slambulance,
Or,
man.
and on Horizon Lunar Colony. Oh, yeah, Slam was dope. when you could
Slambulance
walk
and
through
Spanish
hydroponics.
Inquisition. Those are
Oh.
the 2 best comps in the game by
Yeah.
far.
No.
I mean, like playing support for a team, or like whether it's by myself or with a team, there is nothing I hate more than every time Doom becomes meta again. Like I
That's
like
fair.
playing Doom, but oh my god, getting slammed into a wall in one shot every few seconds makes me want to tear my hair out.
One shots aren't fun. Jeff. Jeff Fix.
Widowmaker.
But anyway,
Jeff-
so Invictus, tell me about your long and crazy road to week 12. You're coming out now that Insalak took the win over Prodigious. Sucks for Prodigious. I'm sure they'll get over it. But they took your spot in top 5 with the 8-4 record. But you guys are still in that top 6, which is an awesome place to be coming into playoffs. But you had to go through some games to get there. So walk us through from day 1, if any of you can. I know there's been a lot of roster changes, but I'm pretty sure Booth and a few of you have been here since the beginning of just like picking up people, getting rid of people, the ebb and flow of the meta, and what it's done to you guys as a team.
Yeah, sure. So, to start everything off, we basically had a full 6-man roster before, good in like June, May or so, and basically us players were from Illusion, then myself, Black 96, Sura, Velo, Lemon Ghoul, and Memorex. We started pretty early on building a roster. We picked up Smirk, probably I think was our next pickup, added into main support, and then we added Shadow Devil X, who's now on Harmony and Chaos, and Grizz. That was our 9. I was pretty. I still believe in this. This game's a lot for fun, and I try not to run people's lives too much with it if I can. So I always wanted to have extra people on our roster. There's been a lot of times when people just have something come up during the week, and then we don't have to worry about finding ringers as often, or we always have 6 for a game. So even after some players ended up leaving, we added Yogurt also after, I think it was week 2, I want to say. Yogurt is a friend of Smirk's for week 2, and he was our 4th tank player for a while. I was gone for a few weeks, so he came in and helped out. Then his work schedule changed, so he stepped down for the team. Shadow Devil X then stepped down from the team. He thought he was going to be going on to a open division team. He rejoined with Harmony and Chaos. There's no bad beef between any of us. He's still pretty active in our Discord with us. Then Grizz stepped down from the team. He had some other work things come up. And then right around that time is when we added Falcon and Melt to the team. So as many transactions as we've had, I have not cut anybody. Nobody has left the team in disgrace. It's kind of really, it's not even been like a agreement would be better if you left. It's really just been people's lives kind of happening, which that's going to happen with the game like this. Life comes first, of course. But it's been definitely a lot of weird changes for us. I think speaking for Falcon, Black and I, this meta was a massive change for us. The DPS and healers kind of seemed to flex over to things well. Smirk wasn't a really big Moira player for us, but picked it up very well. But Sigma Arisa was a big change for us on tanks. With it being so important to really be tracking your cooldowns and your enemy cooldowns and comboing your abilities with each other, it took us a while. I think we had a couple of pretty stale weeks, and I easily can say I think that's really to do with a lot of our tank play during that time. So it's been a pretty crazy ride for us early on. We ended up doing pretty well. A couple of really close games we've lost. Definitely had a few games that we felt like should have ended the other way. But I think that at the end of the day, it really comes down to the fact that we're all really still friends, regardless of what happens after the game. So we're open to hearing criticism from each other because we know it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from a place of wanting to help each other improve and do better as a team. And I think that was really important coming into this meta because like the reason GOATS was so frustrating sometimes is that it was literally one micro play or one micro mistake like with a cooldown that could lose you a fight. And that's really similar this time as well. Like we've done some VOD reviews, we've looked through, and I'll be like, wow, I used my E 2 seconds too early and we lost the whole map because of it at the end. Or wow, we coalescence here and we didn't combo it with our supercharger. That lost us this point and then lost us the map at the end. So it's a hard environment to be in because you have to look at that low level at a lot of things we've been doing. But I think we've done a great job with it. I'm really proud of everybody sticking with everything. Hopefully this is the roster we're going to be able to stay with for the rest of the season as well. And we'll be looking forward definitely to whoever we end up trying to get into playoff rankings continuing in through November.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's I know mathematically everybody's still in and out. Besides like commit, they're like definitely like in.
Yeah.
And I think Meteor's on one last ride as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing how the rankings might change in these next couple weeks for teams that are like, I think the podcast said it best, where it's just like teams like 5 to like 12 are all seem to just be on top of each other. So it'll be interesting to see how well you all do, how well all the other bubble teams do, and what's going to happen come playoff time, because I think when playoffs roll around, it's going to give teams like kind of a second wind or another chance to define themselves as a team. Because if you take like you take the wild card matches and you get out of it, whoever they are, with 7 to 10, and then they get placed up against these massive teams in top 6, and anybody who shoots for that upset and gets it is now known as a team that was bottom 12 or like around the 12 range that took out a top 6 seed. And I think when playoffs time comes, I think we're at least gonna see one team do it, if not two, because I think all the teams are really, really close. I think even after talking to like Commit and One Last Ride, that they treat every game with such respect, because they understand that we're all in like a tier for a reason. The potential to win is there for all of us. So it's super cool to hear a top team still have like some doubts going into certain games, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I think you guys, when everybody was looking forward to your game against Commit, everybody was riding the hype of like anybody can beat anybody. So I wish you guys the best. I wish everybody the best in these next coming weeks, because it's gonna really make or break the end of the season. So
Thank
now
you.
for
Seems
the
prodigious.
yeah, no, we're gonna try our best.
That's right.
So come playoff time, if you maintain this top 6 spot, you would be seeded against I believe would be the winner of 7 to 10, which would be pretty cool. You guys
No,
what's
we
up?
would be seeded against number 3.
Number 3? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we'd be. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, word. All right. So
We'd still clap.
yeah, I'm about to say it'd be either like One Last Ride or Meteors.
It's Commit
or
right
whoever.
now.
Bro, we crush them right now. Come here, where you at?
Yeah. Well, yeah, about to say.
Don't
Commit.
look at last week's results. Not at this.
Yeah, nah.
I wasn't
So
there,
close.
bro. I wasn't
Yeah,
there.
you
That's
just
why.
have to
That's
flip
why.
the coin.
But yeah, it'll probably be Meteors, One Last Ride, Commit, or even Tough Luck still in the running. So of those 4 mega teams, who are you either most confident on playing, or who are you most excited to get a shot at come playoffs?
Give me
so-
Tough Luck, please.
I definitely think that I'm interested in facing One Last Ride come week 15, and then
Yeah,
maybe
that's
even a
our last
rematch
match.
come finals.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
that'd
played
be
One
definitely
Last
interesting
Ride.
to see.
Yeah, One Last Ride's week 15. Meteors was. We played
That was
them, I want to say
early.
week 3, so that was 5 roster changes ago, and Tough Luck was week 1, which was also
Oh,
5
God.
roster changes ago. So I
It's a
know
hot minute.
definitely Tough Luck had a lot of changes too, so we're basically 2 different teams. I would be happy playing any of the teams, to be honest. I have respect for all of them. I think it'd be a good game, but probably Tough Luck, I would say, if I had to pick one. We had I don't know if some of the teams knew about this. We had a casted game before the season started. We were both kind of building our
Yeah.
rosters. A scrimmage between 2 of us that went to 5 maps, and we've always kind of had a cool relationship with them. Some of the players like from Otaku, and then season 1 players working together as well. And that would be a lot of fun to play them again.
Tough Luck, were they a team last season as well, or I know they have members from different teams coming together, but
They had a lot of players from last season. Like Kingdom was part of it. Smugs.
but like were they their own team last season?
Oh no, no.
No, they're new. Okay.
Some came from Otaku, some Meta Rejects.
Rejects, yeah.
I'm not, obviously, as you can tell, I'm not super active in the Harmony
Noob.
Discord. I'm just kind of like, I'm here, let's play games.
Yeah, Left joined Illusion with us. Was it like week 8 or 9 last season? We were just we were fast attacking in comp, and we needed a healer, and we got matched with you, I think, and we stayed as group, and then we like messaged you afterwards, like, hey, what do you do on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock?
I was like, oh shit, I don't know, I work 40 hours. Yeah, that was funny.
So, you didn't get as much.
I specifically remember because Asura just left, but like I remember you getting really toxic and being like, "Hey, Asura, play better Genji. Stop fucking leaving me." I was getting so mean. I like still feel bad about it to this day because I play with Asura so much.
It's fine. We replaced him.
That's super cool. Would you consider Tough Luck maybe like, or One Last Ride, like your potential biggest rivals in the tier? Or do you have another team that's like every time that you even hear the name, you're like, we gotta beat them next time, or
I mean,
this time, or whatever?
It probably varies from person to person.
Yeah, I think the biggest matchups would be if we are to face One Last Ride in the finals after week 15. I definitely think that'd be an interesting match because we could definitely just look at our mistakes in that match after we view it, and then see what we did wrong, see what we did right, and then what we can do after that. And then I definitely think if we do face them in the finals, that would be a really interesting match.
I'd honestly say, dude, I honestly just want to destroy Tough Luck. Not gonna lie to you. Kingdom will not stop talking to me about this Tracer only one that we had like a year ago. And he beat me.
You just want to.
I honestly, like, once he brings it up, I want to have something to fall back on to get rid of that, get that out of his.
How many people on Tough Luck do you need a 1v1? Because there's.
You
tried 1v1ing Smugs earlier today.
I need a 1v1 Smugs. I need a 1v1 Kingdom again. Even though I clapped him. Hope he's watching this. And everybody else on that team is okay. Besides Zubi, like, I will take you out.
He's just making threats, dude. You better cash this one in.
Yeah, Zubi, you better watch yourself.
Instalock would be another fun one. I think they're right above us. That's a team that we've been kind of close with. Like Aimbots was kind of one of our bigger, I guess, like rival friends. We used to do warm-up matches at warm-up maps at like 8 o'clock each Wednesday. And then Juke being over there now, still in contact with them a lot, and a couple of the players. A lot of Instalocks on the Minecraft server that we run, so that'd be another fun one for us to play. I don't know really if that's really gonna work out number-wise for playoff spots, especially first round things, because of how close we are. But that'd be another fun one as well.
Oh yeah, well, if things stay where they are, then you'll definitely get sent to each side of the bracket. So the finals would really be it. It's the only way that would happen is if either they jump to 3rd seed or you guys drop to 8th seed, which again, everything from 4 down seems possible. Like if anybody goes on a tear, anybody goes on a mad drought, then it's like the playoff spots are just not secure, at least where they are. Whether you're in or not, it seems that like the top 6 are pretty secure, so that's super cool. But yeah, I mean, it'd be a really neat thing. I know Instalock is one of those teams that's gone through a lot of changes too, and they're a bunch of interesting guys over there, so definitely always a good game against them. And yeah, always sad to see the Aimbots go, but super cool to see that Juke still popping around in the Discord doing his stuff, playing on Instalock. Nice guy. Shout out to him.
Yeah, big F's, dude.
But
I think we'd like to play against you guys too again. Smirk is just still.
You'll get the 4-0 again. Like, don't worry. Like, it'll happen. If you need another one, we'll send you a doggy bag.
Yeah, we just need
as long as we can let Smirk play on like one map.
Oh no! Yeah, our support Ben will not allow it if him and Matt aren't just on a 1v1 dueling. It's just all of us step to the side and just watch them shoot little darts at each other.
The 1v1.
Yeah.
Let the auto
Yeah, we did that with Aimbots last season. Rex, you're still here, right? Remember that when they DC'd, so just you 1v1s their Lucio?
Oh,
I all of us stood around and just like watched it for like 3 minutes straight.
Loved at the arena.
Oh, that was a fun one.
I still call foul on that. That ball took 40 HP.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I remember that. You got cheated on that.
Got scuffed.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
would.
that is one word to describe our games and scrims. That's one thing we try to get in at least everything. There's always something scuffed that happens. Anyone that scrimmed us can attest to that. Anybody that's played against us, anyone that's been on our team, there's something scuffed has to happen.
Something scuffed always happens.
This is
Yeah.
this is a scuff community. I've never had problems in any
Mm.
games ever. I've played with teams before. We played scrims and stuff like that, and like this is scuff central. Earlier today, I had a
Yeah.
power outage. I got DDoS.
Yeah, if you want to talk scuff, just look at the Reno match. I mean,
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Cream-
They had a couple of DCs and power.
Yeah.
Like, Dorm's power went out for a while. That's
that was just unlucky.
I had a weird Genji skin
Yeah.
on or something. I don't know, dude. That game.
Dude,
never
like
liked
every
to-
game last season was just like, oh, did Lemon disconnect? 50-50 chance.
oh, the beginning scrims with you and Grizz like back in the summer. Jesus.
Oh god,
I
that one
think
time
we-
you guys were
oh
doing your
my
VOD
God.
review and I like joined in, and you're both like, oh, what's Lemon doing? And it's just me walking off a cliff because I'm just like completely crashing.
I think
God,
we had
I'm
a
so glad to not have that.
we had a scrim like I want to say in mid-July where we had between both of us was it 12 disconnects in 5 maps or something? It was
Probably.
so
no.
insane. Like I think Grizz's router died 3 times and that was insane.
Grizz has problems. Sometimes
I
you
bet he
have
has a
problems. I
totally
always have
Grizz.
problems.
Yeah, your old internet was legit dial-up.
Being in college, oh no, it was dial-up. That was the problem. Dude, I went and checked. I got 24 megabits per second at best, and that was shared between 4 devices.
That was better than my sophomore year of college. I had 1 megabyte down max. We could share with versus roommates.
Yeah, it was
Yikes.
bad.
That was bad.
Things are good now, though. It's okay.
So we can talk about a little bit more present tense instead of all this this playoff stuff. You got a crazy win tonight, very close. Everybody who
Yeah.
doesn't watch it, go back and watch the
Very
VOD.
close, yeah,
You'll go
very
wild.
Very
But-
intense.
And these next 3 weeks, unlike what it seems to be the rest of the Discord tier, you actually have to play the rest of your games, while the rest of us just play
Unlucky.
teams that don't exist. So,
Exactly.
Eclipse, the first game, that is probably your closest match, I guess, because they're only one like loss different from you guys. So you can walk me through that game when we finish walking down the road that is your path to the playoffs, and then we have Harmony and Chaos, which is predicted to be like your easiest of the 3 games. Again, kind of like it's hard to sleep on a team, so still, I mean, there's upset potential there, maybe. And then One Last Ride is your hardest game, and you guys were talking about that earlier, so I don't know if we have to truly cover that as much, but dive into the Eclipse game. What are you doing in prep if you're willing to talk about anything? Of course, don't give away too much, but you know it's going to be the closest potentially of all the games when it comes to your map differential and your wins and losses.
I honestly
yeah.
think I'm going first. I honestly think it's gonna come down to like who can play the meta better, because
Yeah.
I mean it's not changing much. Like I don't know if I'm allowed to say or not, but let's just say that some of the teams tonight during our scrim was running dive. So
Oh boy.
so I think it's honestly
Um,
gonna come down to who runs the meta better, who's the better Doomfist.
Yeah, I definitely think that a hot take, but like not a hot take for some people. But I definitely think that while Eclipse is definitely on a win streak and they're improving still, I definitely think that they are exploitable, I guess you could say. They are definitely. I mean, they're close to us. They're closer to us, but like we're also improving as well. So,
I think their whole mentality changed, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
I
you.
think-
they're striving. They want it more.
I think that
They've really improved.
even in the power rankings, I don't think that Eclipse deserves the number 5 spot, but since they're on a win streak right now, I definitely think that that could definitely play a factor in.
I think they're number 5 solely because of the Cryptic Force.
the
Hey,
feeding.
Hey, don't talk about my man, alright?
Yeah,
No,
he's,
That's why they're top 5.
People are
Definitely.
overestimating them, maybe.
Well, in 10 minutes you get to
Yeah,
make your
I
own
just-
Invictus PR.
I,
So if you want to drop Eclipse to the floor, you get more than welcome.
Well-
but go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that people place them higher than they should be. Is all I'm gonna say about it.
We'll have to
Right.
say more later, but for now we can move on.
Yeah, we'll say more later.
It'll be a good one. I don't think. I mean, I don't want to get ahead on teams. I don't think any of our 3 games are in any way going to be easy. I
Losable.
think all of them will be very difficult games in their own their own regard. Clips has had some roster changes over the season. We've definitely scrimmed them. Probably more than some of the other teams in the Discord tier. But that'll be a fun one to play against. I think we have a lot of similarities in some of our player lineups. Definitely some season 2 people that we look forward to playing that we're friends with again too. So that'll be a really fun game. I'm really looking forward to that one.
I'm definitely interested in the Harmony and Chaos one.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm most excited for.
Because
That's been a pretty frequent scrim partner for us. There was like a couple week period we scrimmed them like once a week or something, and then with Shadow Devil X being on the team, of course, a little bit added fun and spice going on.
I just wanna
Yeah,
add
he's got some
this
interest.
main. That's all I'm saying.
they've since they've been on the rise, since they've been on the rise, I think we've only scrimmed them once this since I've been on it. So
Yeah, just once.
it's definitely, I think it'll be definitely interesting to see how much they've improved over the season.
Agreed.
So
Because they were a bottom tier team, and now I want to say they're rising in the ranking.
yeah, they're working their way up, but it's definitely towards the end of the season when it's happening.
Cav can only do so much for his team. That's all I'm saying.
I think
Yeah,
with the
that'll be
games,
a
like-
very close one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know. With the games coming up this season, though, like at least like last season playing on Illusion and stuff, there were games here and there where like we're like, oh, this is gonna be an easy clap. Like we just knew it was gonna be good. And then we were like, oh god, this game's gonna be really hard. It seems like every game feels about like balance. Like I'm always like, this game's gonna be hard. Let's try our best. Like it doesn't feel like that as much for me. I haven't been here for all the games, of course, so I can't speak for every single one. But
So you're talking about like the mentality.
yeah, it feels a lot more balanced this season. Like every game, I seem to go into it like I don't go in cocky or confident, or I don't go in like
Oh, I
we're
do.
fucked. I
only-
go in like like I don't know, like it's a serious game. There's not really
if I'm not
overwhelming
in your
benefits
backline
to
using
the other.
all my abilities, then like I'm not trying. I'm not trying against your team.
Catch me throwing all the damage orbs.
Yeah,
mean,
last
I-
season. Yeah, I'll go ahead, Prox.
I mean, Melts, there's a specific reason why I don't feel the need to watch Lemon's gameplay every single time you stream. Like, there is that.
I try.
But go ahead, Boo. That was just wanting to make fun of Melts.
It's like, oh man, Lemon didn't heal a Doomfist. Wait, who's the Doomfist? Ah, it's Melts. And then, man, doesn't
Oh,
matter.
man, doesn't
Does.
even
It's
matter.
just me blatantly ignoring Melts. That's usual.
At a certain point, you just have to let him go.
Yeah, just like oh, you're out.
Wild.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes
Untamed.
until we talk about like the little awards I usually do, but let's get a quick capture of you, Melts. I know you were previous on Jetpack Cats, and like we all saw that like you got better. So talk us through what clicked, I guess, to make you good enough to join Invictus and still kick butt over here in the Discord tier.
So I mean, I think that's a hard question. I think honestly, not trying to be toxic, like honestly think I was one of the top players in Harmony. It's obviously because I'm a Masters player playing against Plats. Nothing against Plat players, but I guess I had better awareness and mechanical skill, and there are definitely some really good Harmony tier players, like Bard, for example. Poe for Jetpack Cats is really good. Like, I don't discredit them at all, but my whole goal for joining Discord was to get better as a player. Like, you're not gonna improve much if I'm playing comp against like master GM players when I'm playing like daily with Plat players. So the whole point for me, like going up in a tier, was to improve as a player, and staying in Harmony was just holding me back.
And you feel like you've done that?
I mean, I feel as if this is my first season hitting Masters, so I mean, I think I've definitely gotten much better. I think playing with a better overall team besides Falcon that Kid sucks. Besides,
okay.
Overall, just like I honestly think I've improved a lot more playing with like a more skilled team, so to say,
Cool.
so to speak.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm glad that you shared that with us, because for the rest of us that just kind of saw the switch and not really know what was going on, it's like, huh, we got some new blood. We got this Harmony kid. Yeah, I bet we're gonna all eat him for breakfast. But no, you've definitely more than held your own. It's super cool. Congrats making masters. I know a lot of people in here are just hard stuck diamonds like me. So super cool to hit the
Gang,
little
gang.
the more shiny
Yeah.
emblem. But we can get right
Couple
into
of
the
us
little
left.
awards and talk about who's improved the most since joining the team. It could be mechanically, it could be comms, it could be mentality, any any way you want to kind of rate it. And it can all be individual. You don't have to be unanimous. Just like what you as a team think everyone's doing and how well a specific person's doing in comparison to some other people maybe who just not necessarily stagnated but haven't seen as more tangible improvement when it comes to just stuff related to the game.
I want to go first because like I'm important compared to you guys. I'm just kidding.
Oh
This
boy.
season hitting
I'm
Masters
just
and
kidding.
Good to see you.
All right, Mr.
Uh,
Masters.
All right, so I would nominate Booth for literally everything. The kid deals with me. All right, I mean the adult deals with me every single day.
Babies.
He-
He's honestly just a
I'm not
babysitter.
like that much
to be
older. I'm
honest.
23, man.
no. All right, that's like 6
Hey,
years.
23 and
No matter what, he's always the nice one. No matter what we say to him, no matter how bad we call him. Not only that, but his off tank skill is like it's really good. If you've seen the podcast plays and like stuff like that. So I nominate Booth personally, and not Falcon. Never Falcon.
All right. Well, I mean, I got more seasons as Masters than you, so that's only fair.
Ooh. I mean,
But I'll go
I can
second since
kinda-
I'm second Masters. I mean, I was going to nominate Booth as well because not only does he tolerate us, but again with the tanking position, since this meta's all crazy with tanks. He's not really an off tank position, but his ability to pick up Sigma Orisa in such a short amount of time proves how good he is at the game.
Agreed. And his leadership skills, which I forgot to add. My mistake.
Jesus Christ. All right, I guess we have to pick you guys for things now.
The whole reason we picked you. No, just kidding.
I was gonna say 2 players. I was saying Black 96 is really in these past couple of games we've all noticed done just insane on Orisa.
Oh,
Like
he's
that scrim yesterday you guys were telling us about. He said
Oh,
like
yeah.
legit hard carried.
He
And the other one-
yeah.
Just insane. And then the other one I was gonna say was I know he had to leave Asura. So Asura at the start of last season was 2344,
Ooh.
and then I want to say he's locked in. Is he locked in above 3K? He's at what 3750 or something now. He has
Yeah.
climbed quite a bit over these last 2
Definitely.
Tranquility seasons. Him and Velo are the 2 captains here for the team, and I think Asura has definitely made a really big jump so far on the team this season. Not that everyone really hasn't improved immensely. I mean, like I was watching back one of our first scrims that we did, and it was almost comical to kind of watch through. We were scrimming against like this 2.9K team because it's the last one I found, and we got like rolled on 3 or 4 points. But just last week I had a scrim against like a 3.5, 3.6, and it was the complete opposite way around. So all around, I think the team's improved so much. Even mechanically, but just compared to just some other things we've done, everybody's alt tracking not just for themselves or their counters, but they're alt tracking it for the whole entire team. People are tracking cooldowns very aggressively, which is great in this meta, of course. So I'm proud of what everyone's been able to do.
Nice. I know Lemon, you started to say something. Were you still on
Oh
that?
no, it's okay. I mean, I was just gonna kind of chime in and agree with Melton Falcon there with Booth. I mean, I guess this will just be Booth appreciation time, but honestly, like even outside of mechanical skills and stuff, Booth holds this team together both as the general manager, but also just
Player.
with like as a player and as with your personality and just you're always positive. You're quick to give the right criticism that everyone wants and needs to hear, even when it's even when it can be a little hard sometimes. And that's what you need as a coach. And if we didn't have you as the coach, I don't think this team would still be Illusion 2.0. We wouldn't be here. We all would have gone our separate ways. So
Especially when he like never puts the the blame on anybody else. It's always his fault that we lost the team fight according to him. Even though it was Falcon in the back line.
No, if Booth was in there, I'd blame everything on him.
No, to be fair, it is entirely all our faults. There's like 8 things wrong we do as a team in every single fight when we watch stuff back. So
Yeah, we watch stuff back and
take
we'll just
back my
see.
compliment. I take back my
Falcon could have been feeding in the back, but then Mel
It's either it's one or the other. It's either
Like, we're
me
just
feeding
going
or
for, like,
Falcon or Mel's
massive
feeding.
move or something, and like,
Rex,
Falcon and I are
Don't
doing some tactical strategies, bro. We're
We're just flanking, you know?
We're flanking through the whole team.
A tank and a DPS, just Bonnie and Clyding it, just through the back line.
We've had our journeys.
Well, since I'm pretty sure I know the answer of who's bringing the most positivity to the team, we can probably
Else.
assume it's Booth. But we can talk on that
Velo.
a little bit first.
Velo. I want
Ooh.
to say, not me. That's
Velo,
definitely Velo.
definitely.
Ooh.
Velo has been our positivity guy even in season 2 Illusion. He's always he went on leave of absence. He's back for us now, and honestly, I noticed a pretty big difference in some of those weeks that he wasn't here. I mean, I try my best with things, but it's always nice to have like that second level of positivity there, regardless of what's going on.
Melts.
And Rex is also crazy positive for us as
And
well.
also melts.
Okay, champ.
Rex always
I
brings the
can't pick
comedy
everyone.
that you
I'm
need.
not toxic, dude.
Oh no, definitely not. It's I who's talking.
One of our things we like to do when our supports are getting dove is we just have Rex scream peaches at the top of his lungs. So that's always nice.
Yeah, we got a safe word.
Safe word. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Peaches.
I don't like that term.
Nice. Ours is harder.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I definitely, but I mean,
Don't think that's the right one.
Well,
I definitely don't game on an empty stomach because like if I hear peaches, I'm gonna be like, where?
Hungry
Medium.
time.
Well, awesome to hear. So we'll move on to the tier list, and like we do, we're gonna start with the Discord tier since that's the tier you're in, and if we have time, we'll hop into Harmony. But I don't know if you guys have already thought about this or done it internally, but just the first teams I hear is the order I'll put it in, and we'll try to keep it as unanimous as possible. But there are 6 of you, so there's room for some disagreements.
Sure. If anybody else says anything besides commit for first team,
You are
speak up,
like
but I'm gonna say commit as first
I
team.
Yeah, it's-
Brave, they're in third right
obvious.
now. That's interesting.
They haven't lost. I think they're only
it-
third because they had a bye this week.
Yeah, they just haven't
they in
recorded they didn't lose
Oh.
anything. They just didn't record anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a
Like
good meme.
commit is on a whole different playing field than everyone else, and it shows. And they're 11-0, 12-0 now, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
that was our match last week, and I mean, even though it was a 4-0, I think those last 2 maps were definitely winnable on our side. But there was just some points where we tracked their ults perfectly. We knew what ults we were gonna use. We had our counters ready, and it just didn't matter. It just
Yeah,
didn't matter.
Literally.
It was insane. Whole different level.
Yeah, I agree. Commit's number 1. All I'm saying now is I beat Axiom in a Widow woman when he wasn't warmed up.
How many
so
1v1s do you do? My God, man.
Jesus.
I'm just saying, like, we haven't
You
won a
always
Widow
would be winning.
He wasn't warmed up, but you know it doesn't matter. I still got to win.
Oh, and also a big
No.
thank you to Commit. If they do listen to this, they are all listed as ringers for us, so they frequently join our voice chat and
Oh my
raids.
god.
Um,
Tuesday night, I got a fucking
Vanity.
yeah, my apologies.
You're good. You're good.
I just got a screenshot from Andy, and with the caption, I heard you were looking for a ringer, and it's just the entire
Entire team.
commit team in the channel.
Okay, so second then. So
This is.
I mean, it's
yeah.
hard to say. We haven't played against One Last Ride yet. I think it could be either One Last Ride or Meteors. I think those are probably the top 3 teams for me.
Did
just-
Meteors beat the one last ride? So I'm putting.
I'd say going just solely off their maps, the map that they chose, or the whatever it was
Plus,
called.
Meteors
I
are
definitely think
good.
Meteors is second after winning the match.
Yeah, Meteors
Okay.
is definitely second.
Yeah, I put One Last Ride at third then.
Cool.
You know, HQC the best support in the league. No, I'm just kidding.
HQC
There-
is actually Pog.
Such a good ad, I did.
Wow, he's insane.
Obviously.
Right.
So then we go what, 4th place. So
No, third.
No, we
it's
have
fourth
one
place.
last ride.
Yeah, one last ride's third.
Fourth, I say.
I think-
third.
Definitely-
I
Tough
think
luck.
Tough Luck. could be
Definitely
fourth.
tough luck to still fourth.
I
Yeah.
think it's close
This is-
between Tough Luck and Instalock. They're both.
Yeah,
pretty
they're
good.
getting-
couple players bringing tough luck.
Yeah, it's
now.
coming towards the end of the season. Those teams are like getting closer and closer to each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tough Luck 4, Instalock 5.
Cool.
I honestly
Definitely
think
go
how
with-
it is now is good, to be honest.
I mean, do we
We're-
rank ourselves also?
Yeah, of
Nah,
course, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're
Easily.
6. I think we're in a good
I'd
spot.
give us a 6. Yeah, I think 6.
Give us a
6 or
sweet
5. 6 or
six.
5.
I see that. I think we'll kind of stay around where we are if we don't go up or down.
It's hard for me sometimes to put us high on things because I mean, just so in touch with how we're playing. Like I see a million things wrong we do in games and stuff, and I think, Jesus, how can we even win a map with all of these things we're doing in games? So it's hard to judge yourself sometimes. Of course, you think you're. We wouldn't be having the players we have or running the things we had if we didn't think it was going to work or doing well for us. But I think 6 is a fair place for us. But be fair with that, we could be up at 4th, we could be down in 9th. There's so many good teams. Especially
Hey,
in this,
hey, don't make fun of ninth.
Oh no, I said we could be in 9th. That's what I'm saying. Easily.
And you'd like it. It's nice down here. Temperate. We have cookies
cozy.
sometimes. We go to
Yeah,
Pizza
yeah,
Hut
yeah,
after the
got-
games.
got a potluck, you know, got all the
It's nice
things.
down here. There's room if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out,
You
yeah.
can swap
So-
spots with Alt F4 after they get their 2 buys.
Oh, the 2
There you
buys.
go.
Or
That's
3 if Otaku leave.
I think
So,
for number 7, I honestly
number
have
seven-
I think Eclipse, to be honest.
I think, yeah, even though after bashing on them, I definitely think they're much better than Renovadio after
Especially when
their
they change it so much.
after their
roster.
changes. Yeah, after the Renovadio changes, I definitely think that Eclipse, beating them and just what the roster's going to look like, I think that Eclipse is much better than them.
Does that mean
And
you're
we
putting
play
Reno
them.
at 8 or?
Yeah, Reno
I
8,
think-
Reno
I
8.
think I think then we switch those up.
Okay.
I think, and this is no way because you're here, Juco. I think Prodigious possibly could be in 8th. Or I think Infius Gaming is
I think it's- yeah.
a lot better than 11th place as well.
People
Yeah,
people
MPS
definitely.
gaming is
They're-
really...
I'm so shocked at that.
It is
low.
no joke when people say that it is just a cluster down here.
I have
But-
it. Alt F4.
You could throw a dartboard at a picture of like all the teams from like 5th to easily 12th, and like no one could question the results to come out.
Yeah,
for
I definitely
yeah,
think
I
that-
can see it.
Just like, oh, okay,
You're like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got it.
makes
The
sense.
eighth place
Yeah.
between Reno and Prodigious is definitely a toss up because of Renovadio's roster. Because I mean we've only seen it after one game, so
That's very fair.
you can't really call that right now. But it's getting towards the end of the season, so since they do have a new roster, they'd have to be picking slack.
Don't
I'd
worry
say
though.
if we have to rank it today, that'd probably where I'd put that then. But that's
Yeah.
a very deadly team. Cream is nuts.
They're good. They're super good over
Very good.
there. I also the only thing though, little alert to anyone who hasn't played us recently. We play triple tank now in a meta where technically that's impossible, but 3 tank players are always playing. So
Oh,
you keep that in mind, everybody.
Well, I think my support SR is higher than my tank SR, so and I think that actually is in a couple of cases. We might have 4 support players in our game at some points. Yeah, Black 96, his support's higher right now. Yeah, there's a lot of support players on our team.
Nice. Well, we only have 2 minutes left for the Harmony tier, so if we want to skip it, we can and just like talk for a couple
Skip
minutes.
it.
Skip
Jetpack
it.
Acid first place.
Yep.
We can
Jetpack
skip
Acid
it
first,
or-
cool.
We can skip it, or Melts and I can try to do it really quick, because I mean I've casted a few
Yeah,
games. so I'm
just
a
do
little-
like a
Harmony cool?
poker rap, like just go bam, 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 bam.
Harmony tier, Illusion wins. GG.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
my.
Yeah.
I think
if
I'm
Nick
very
was here,
solid
he'd
team.
put Illusion as number 1.
I think
Vitamin C, Maelstrom, Holy Jalapenos are very strong. I think
looking
Karma, good team.
looking at the leaderboard right now, I don't think anything should change. Maybe Vitamin C, maybe go down a little bit after they lost a couple players, but like, I think everything is in a good spot right now. I don't think you could. I mean, I think
Yeah, I think the power rankings show like what the skill is right now.
Yeah, it's pretty fair. I'm really excited for the Vitamin C Maelstrom this Sunday. That's gonna be a fun one to watch.
and compared to Discord, like how we were saying, like the 5th through 10, like it's a toss up. In
Same
Harmony,
thing here,
no, I think it's the opposite, to be honest. Like when Boop played Jetpack Cats, like they got rolled. Even though I love Boop so much, like don't get me wrong, but I think the skill differential is like immense in Harmony. Like Vitamin C is crazy team. Like the top 5 teams are crazy, excluding Karma because they have Ski for Yeti. But
It's a thick team. It's a thick tier. What I meant to say, because like
Yeah.
up here in Discord, it's only like a 600 SR difference between most players, and then down there it can get up to 1,000, and
Yeah,
especially
it's-
from like gold to plat. Like
It's a big.
I
Jump.
never was gold, but I've seen gold players, and they don't. They
Whoa, dude, rank doesn't matter, man.
Rank,
it does at some point.
Yeah, no. I think
Hey,
I think Blizzard did a good job at telling you when you're just okay at the game, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think being just
Hey, that's
okay at a
fair.
game is like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, gold was the
Blizzard, you're
most fun I've
different,
ever
right?
had playing
You're
over far. Not even close to anything else.
I'll have you know, I used to be a Plat Lucio player, and then I picked up tank, and I'm like, damn, I'm pretty good at this tanking thing.
Hey, I'll have you know, I used to be a
Masters.
silver Lucio. I used to be silver, man, when I first got the game. This is my first FPS on a PC. First PC game, really, in general.
This is my first FPS.
This is my first BP.
I came to PC season 3. I was a silver player,
That
and
explains
I
a
pulled
lot.
out the J silly, bro, in silver. And then I'm like, oh, Lucio's fun too. I watched DSP Stanky when he played that.
Right.
The OG.
That he essentially rose me to plat, and then whatever happened in like season 6 when they essentially reset MMR, I shot up to diamond.
Okay,
After
Falcon,
playing
stop
tank.
making it all by yourself, but we still have to go with Harmony.
No.
Okay.
We can. I mean, we're technically out of time, and I think having like the 5 that you named is like you saying the top 5 is pretty cool because like that, like you said, it's like there's a totally different top 5. Unless
Yeah.
you want to give us
Yeah.
3 more, because right now I have In Order, Jetpack Cats, Illusion, Vitamin C, Maelstrom, Holy Jalapenos.
On their position?
That's like I said, it's the order you name them, so we can rearrange them. You said
I
Jetpack
think
Cats, easy clap.
Looking at the scoreboard or the leaderboard right now, like I don't think anything will change, to be honest with you. I think every team is in a spot to where they should be. Maybe Comets go up a little bit more because I mean they're a pretty good team, but everything I think is fine. Sadly, Boop at the bottom, as much as I hate to see it, like hopefully they rise to number 1. There's still a chance, you know. But I think overall the leaderboard is in a spot to which it should be, and it honestly I think it makes sense to like how it is now.
Cool.
I don't think any changes should like
Yeah,
occur.
Mark, he came from there. He knows the teams.
For sure. Nah, but it's been awesome talking with everybody. We are out of time. Is there anything you guys want to say before we sign off?
Picking up Falcon was a throw.
Okay. Says the Genji player that just hit Masters.
Dude, stop being so toxic all the time, G.
Okay, dude.
Toxic moment.
Toxic Masters player.
I guess if I could say for the whole team, thanks for having the interview with us. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
We haven't
yeah.
really gotten to do much
Yeah.
like this. It's a really cool thing you guys are doing here for the community for this. A lot of us really crave to have some more content
Attention.
going on. Attention, yeah.
Yeah, I like the
Awkward.
interviews are definitely a really interesting thing because it shows, more,
It
like
gives us-
what
it
the
gives us
players are
more, yeah.
experiencing throughout the weeks.
Just speaking
their
compared
thoughts?
to last season, like last season I knew about other teams, but I knew like 12 people because I've played pugs with them, and I feel like I know at least someone on every team or know people well enough now with all this extra content we're getting this year from things like this and with the podcast expanding and more featured matches. And that's really like improved, I feel like, the feel of the community and all.
Yeah.
It feels less like just a Wednesday week kind of thing. It's more just like a whole group of people that all have really similar values with the game and have a lot of fun.
It has a lot of competitiveness too, as well,
Yeah.
because now you're talking about like you're getting talked about. Your team's getting talked about, like what they're doing, like how good they are, how bad they are. Like
You guys gonna make me cry. It's coming full circle.
Oh.
Word. All right. Yeah, y'all have been super awesome. It's been real, but we're gonna sign off. Everybody say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Falcon's a
Bye.
thrower.
All right,
Falcon's a thrower.
Bye.
Peter.